Hi ladies and welcome to the catch up. Today we are chatting with the lovely Hayley Robertson. Now Hayley is an MBA qualified and experienced marketing consultant and business coach. She's also a small business owner, so she understands what we're talking about, and founded My Client Strategy to teach service-based small business owners how to successfully market and grow their business without the stress and overwhelm. I love without the stress and overwhelm. Welcome to the catch up, Hayley. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Danielle. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you here. Now, we had some lovely technical difficulties earlier, or silly people technical difficulties, that's me. But now we're ready to roll. So I've invited Hayley today to have a chat to us about marketing a service-based business. I know I personally have come from a service-based business background, and over the years have struggled with how to market that and how to sort of say to people, this is what I do, and I am the product pretty much. So Hayley, how can we, I know it's a huge question I'm chucking out there, but how do you market a service-based business?
It's a great question because it's definitely different to marketing a product-based business. You don't have these pretty stock images of your product that you can post on social media and be able to talk about all those features and benefits of that product. When you go into market a service-based business, you're really talking a lot about yourself, which for a lot of people can be really difficult. I find it difficult myself as well. It requires a lot of confidence and getting really clear on who you are, why you're in business, and how you can provide value and solutions to your potential clients. And so when you're actually able to confidently speak about yourself and put yourself out there and increase your visibility, you're actually then able to start building trust and building relationships with people, which essentially is right at the crux of marketing a service-based business. Because when someone wants to go and purchase a service, they're actually putting a lot of trust and a lot of faith in that person that they're purchasing from, because they don't necessarily know exactly what type of service or what quality they're going to get. So anything that you can do to demonstrate that value, talk about your services, it really just helps to overcome some of those fears and sales objections that people have when it comes to purchasing services.
So I guess if you're wanting to compare it to selling a product, so here's my product, I don't know, it might be a vase or something. So you describe that product and someone can pick it up in a shop and look at it and sort of see for themselves, I guess, what the quality is, that kind of thing. You have to do that with yourself. You are the product.
Absolutely, yeah. You really need to understand why you're in business and really start thinking about some of those personal stories and reasons about why you've put your products and services together, how you can help other people. Some of your qualifications, your experience really helps as well to build some of that trust with people in terms of promoting your services. And it really is about getting visible and getting yourself out there. And it can be quite challenging and it can be quite scary for a lot of people. But once you put a few strategies in place that make that easier, you'll actually find that your business just starts to grow organically, because you're just doing all those little one percenters and they all add up into that big overall result.
So Hayley, you've mentioned about positioning yourself in the market. How do we, there's so many avenues with social media, having good branding, having a website. How do we kind of do that strategically?
Yeah, so it's really about getting clear on that target market that you're looking to attract. So when it comes to defining your target market, it's really about looking at the demand that there is out there and who might want to purchase your services, and then narrowing it down into a group of people who there's going to be enough of them to actually make it profitable for you and your business. So there's a large enough pool of people to market to, but also they're going to be the people that you like to work with and that you want to attract. So often we like to work with people who are similar to ourselves. So sometimes that can actually help in trying to define sort of those needs and wants of your target market and what types of services they're looking for. But also then, really starting to undertake some research to find out what type of media they consume, what social media platforms they're on, having a look at, the different questions that they're asking in Facebook groups. There's a lot of reports, a lot of question forums out there that you can do a lot of research online around. But also one of the best ways is to find people in your network, or find people that you can be introduced to, that you can talk to, that you can really get to the crux of what it is that they're looking for when they're looking for your types of services. So speaking to people and talking to them is a great way to do that as well.
It's really interesting because just in the She Will Shine community this week, you've just reminded me, we had one of our members put a call out for that exact thing. So she said who she was after, what sort of interest they would have, what they would be asked about, but really pinpointed who those people were. And then we had a handful sort of put their hands up, go, yeah, that's me. I'm happy to answer some questions and have a phone chat about it. So it's really about doing that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as well, once you start working with clients, once you've started, so you might have launched your business, but once you've got those first 3 or 4 or 5 clients, it really does start to become a lot easier, because you start to see patterns. You start to see the same kind of questions coming up all the time. And that really, really helps you to narrow in on your target market and what it is that they're looking for.
And is that a really good opportunity to start creating that community, because you're starting to sort of see what information they're after, what resources they need?
Absolutely. And I think, the sooner that you can start a community for your business and start building that community, the better. So when I talk about building a community, that could be building your email list, but it also could be building a Facebook group. It could be starting even just a networking lunch with people, from your local area once a month. It's just creating those relationships and starting to build that trust with people, and really, having those opportunities where you actually get to talk to people, because that's where you're going to find out the best information and where you're going to get the best insights and research from.
And I guess also you could also find out through those conversations about, packaging your products, if that would work for your clients. Often we kind of think, okay, yes, I need to package my products or my, obviously my services. We're a service-based business here, but how to actually do that? Are those conversations vital to that information?
Absolutely. And I think probably one of the tips that I would give people when they're thinking about packaging their solution is to have a bit of a broad idea about what you might put into that package, and then taking that to someone and getting their feedback, because I think that's a really great way to kind of prompt that conversation and just help your target market, because sometimes people don't really know what they want, but when you put something in front of them, they'll go, oh, actually, yeah, I'd really like that, or no, that doesn't really interest me. So you'll get that really good insight. If you've just got a broad outline, you could also ask them about past services that they've used before, because competitor research is also really great for getting that insight into why people actually decided to purchase from one of your competitors. There might have been something in their package that really appealed to them, or they might have found something once they started working with someone that was a really great offer, and they could give you that as a suggestion to put into your package going forward.
So if you've developed a community, but you don't have a very big community, Hayley, so you really kind of need to get, I hate saying the numbers, but you really need to kind of get a few more people in there, and your name out there more. What sort of things can you do to kind of, rather than, getting clients off the cuff, there's obviously a process we need to go through to start building those trust and those relationships. Obviously you can't meet everybody all the time. What are some other things that we can do to really get our name out there?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's sort of 2 areas when it comes to advertising. So you can do your organic advertising, which is your free stuff through social media. So it's about regular posting on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, whatever platform that you've decided is the most appropriate for your business and where your ideal clients are likely to be. That's a great way for brand building and for getting visibility and getting your message out there. It's about having a good content marketing strategy as well that sits behind that, so that you're not just randomly posting. What I recommend is people sort of pick 4 or 5 topics that they believe are really relevant and related to their business and what people are asking questions about. So what are they looking for advice on, or how can you help educate them on the types of topics that sit in and around your service, and then create your content around that. So get really specific on those 4 or 5 topics, and then just create a lot of content in that space and put it out there, because people want to follow people who give value. So if you're trying to build a community, you've got to have value for people. There's a reason for them to follow you.
And how important is consistency in that content, Hayley? Because, you know, we all dread sitting down and writing those blog posts, but do we need to be consistent?
You do. And consistency really is a couple of things. It's the topics that you write about, and it's also the frequency. So people are going to follow you for a reason, and it might be that they're going to get a blog article once a week from you, and that might be the core reason, you know, why they follow you. It might be that you have a podcast that you produce once a month. It doesn't necessarily matter what the frequency is, as long as it's consistent. If you are trying to build your community faster, you obviously need to do more. So there's a direct correlation. I think a lot of people say, how much time should I spend on this stuff? It kind of depends how fast you want to grow, because the more you put into it and the more you're posting, the more people you are likely to reach. So if you want to grow really fast, it's about, you know, I know of people that post 3 or 4 times a day on Instagram. For me, I find that completely too much. I'd rather spend my time writing blogs and putting a blog out once a week. So it's about sort of working out what's going to work for you, putting that schedule in place. And once you've actually got that schedule, you start to get habits, and you are faster at producing it. So if you're randomly doing Instagram and then a month later you think, oh no, I need to build my Facebook page, and then 2 months after that, oh no, LinkedIn's where it's at, you will actually find that you're probably not going to be as consistent, and it becomes harder because it's slower. You're actually having to learn a whole new platform. So it's about just picking what you think is going to be the best for you, and then just sticking at it and putting that consistency in.
I love that, because it's not about, you know, spreading yourself too thin across anything and not being particularly good at any of them. It's really about focusing in and honing in on where your clients are and what works for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then again, if you want to grow your community faster, the other alternative in the advertising space is to do some paid ads as well. So sometimes a combination of both can work really well, where you might be putting a lot of your core content out there to warm up your audience and to get them sort of familiar with your brand and understanding who you are, and then following that up with some paid advertising to those warm audiences to actually start converting them either onto your email list or into one of your products or services.
Is collaboration something else that we could be looking at in that same, same area?
Yeah, collaborations are great for extending the reach of your content. So if you're spending all this time creating content, it's a great opportunity to partner with other people to actually also get their audiences to see your content as well. If you can find someone who is in a similar space to yours, who's not a direct competitor, but they may have a complementary service. So you might be a web designer, but you don't do copywriting, as an example. So you could look for another service that offers something in a similar space, who are the same type of clients who are looking for those things at similar times as well. So, you know, someone who's developing a website, they're definitely looking for a copywriter. So, you know, it's finding what business is really complementary to yours, and then looking for those shared opportunities where you can promote each other's business and also build referral partnerships as well.
So we've talked about a few things there. We're talking about advertising, social media, content, a few other things. How important is it to plan all of this lovely material that we're going to create? Because we all know how busy we are.
Absolutely. So planning is essential, and you know, there are ways you can also use those automation tools and use those batch creating content as well to really speed up that process. So if you've got a plan around the topics that you can write about, then having those that plan in place, and 1 week you can write about this topic, the next week you can write about the next topic. It actually also helps with your content strategy as well, because people aren't reading the same thing. Over, you've actually got a bit of a strategy as to how you're going to distribute that content as well.
And I guess from a time perspective, you can really sort of look at your calendar and work that into your schedule.
Absolutely. I try and batch create a lot of my social media content. So I sit down at the beginning of the month and I actually try to write all of my content for the month and automation tools to schedule that out over the month. So it doesn't mean that I'm sort of being held captive, I guess, by the social media platforms for the whole month. I can sort of get it done and get it out of the way and then move on to the other things that I want to work on, or or client work that I want to work on in the business.
Yep. Perfect. Beautiful. Thank you, Hayley. Do you have anything else you'd like to add on to that?
I think the community building is a really big part for service-based businesses, and I think the more that you can put yourself out there, build relationships with people, and actually start speaking with people, and you can also do that through Facebook groups as well, is actually start to have conversations with people, because the conversations and the thing is actually going to grow those relationships quicker and faster and help to overcome some of those fears and sales objections.
Actually, a quick and easy way to do that I've just seen recently is with the questions you can ask on Instagram stories. I've seen a lot of people sort of taking that that function and using it to really engage with their community and to really get that, I guess with Instagram as well, with Instagram stories, it's quite instantaneous. So it's one of those ways that you can instantly start sort of answering those questions and building community and getting to know people.
Absolutely. I think stories are great for that kind of relationship building stuff. And the other tactic that I use as well is to share other people's content, because often that will create a response back from the person whose content that you shared in your story. And it's just a great way to actually start building that relationship and having a conversation with them without coming across like you're spamming or salesy or that sort of stuff, which you can find a lot of on social media, unfortunately.
Yes. Yes, you can. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Hayley. We've had some technical issues. We've had some gardeners outside as well. But we pushed on through, and it was awesome having you share those insights with us today, because we do know that marketing a service-based business is different to a product business. I will add Hayley's contact details when I put this all together up on the net. So you can have a look at Hayley's website and get in contact with Hayley if you'd like to do so. But thanks so much, Hayley. Have a great day, and we'll chat to you soon.
Thanks, Danielle. It's great to talk to you. Bye.
Bye.